There's a trap that more and more Americans are falling victim to, and it has to do with the car landscape. The trap is called being car poor, and it's the reason why the average American now pays $745 a month for a new car, which represents nearly 20% of their entire income. That's double what the financial experts recommend, and it's creating this epidemic where people don't have the ability to actually build wealth. Today, I'm going to break down the 4 hidden forces that are driving Americans into car poverty, and more importantly, I'll show you the exact strategy to avoid becoming another statistic. To understand being car poor, let's first understand the concept of house poor, which is the more commonly referenced term, and I think it's the one that came first. Being house poor means that you own your home, but you're barely able to pay the mortgage, and any extra cash you make is going towards your house. You do think you're rich since you own a home, but you don't have enough discretionary income or extra cash flow to enjoy your life. Being car poor these days is quite similar. The definition is simply overextending your budget in order to finance a car. Now, what that may look like in reality is that you make your paycheck, then you make your payment on your car, and then after that happens, you end up not having enough money to live comfortably or even reach your savings goals. Your car payments take up a disproportionate amount of your income, so much so that it creates a burden on your life. Another situation of being car poor is when you are upside down or you have negative equity on a car. That just simply means you owe more money on a car than it's actually worth. When that happens, you're essentially trapped. You can't sell the car to get out from under the payment because the sale price wouldn't even cover what you owe. And in these situations, this forces you to keep making payments on a depreciating asset, and then the cycle continues. As of early 2025, quote, analysts say nearly 1 in 4 vehicle trade-ins towards new car purchases with negative equity are underwater by $10,000 or more. That's crazy to me because this data is taken from just those people that are actually trading in their cars. I'm sure there's lots more cars that are on the road that are in the same situation but aren't being accounted for in this report. The biggest difference here between house poor and car poor is that, at least in the first scenario of being house poor, it's unlikely that your house will lose value over time. Cars, on the other hand, virtually all of them depreciate, so that means you are paying off a loan, usually with interest, on an asset that loses value. Before I get into the specifics of why this is happening and the hidden forces behind all of this, I want to share some scary statistics with you about how dire the situation in America is right now. As of summer 2025, the total outstanding auto loan debt is now $1.642 trillion, with the average new car payment being $745 a month and the average used car payment being $521 per month. Now think about that for a second. So if we're able to take the averages, so average car payments compared to average salaries, ideally we would see that the average car payment is not taking up too much of the average American salary. In fact, it really shouldn't if we were all being reasonable with our decisions. But I wrote this video, so I already know the disappointing facts, and I'm going to share those.